What's up, y'all? It's movie season. I guess it's always movie season. But I thought this would be a good time to talk about movies and comics together. Mainly focusing on this magical book here, Video Tonfa by Tim Goodyear. An essential tome for anyone interested in comics and movies, or one or the other, I guess. Before I get to that, I made this zine also last year, which is about movies. And I thought maybe this was a good time to sort of bring this up. This is just a slim little slender thing, and this is clearly like a massive book. But I think they're sort of kindred spirits, and my zine was certainly inspired by this book in a major way. Specifically, in the back I have a bunch of like movie recommendations of stuff that I really like, and I thought about doing some sort of drawing or some sort of writing about it, but I just kept coming back to like no one does it as good as Tim Goodyear does it, and so I was like, what's the point? I just left it in here as a list. So this is not I'm really just bringing this up because this thing I think pales in comparison to this thing. So if you've read this, if you have this and you like it, you're gonna go balls out for this thing. So this zine I made is called Les Sentiments Enormes. I was originally gonna make it look like a Criterion cover or something, but I was just kind of wing it on the covers. But it's sort of about movies and looking for these kind of big feelings and how you can find big feelings in sort of unexpected places, specifically when you're watching movies and kind of older movies, and just kind of, it's just more ruminating on kind of why I'm so interested in pursuing these kinds of things and watching like weird movies or extreme movies or violent movies or kind of fringe movies, whatever you would call them, I don't know. But if you're interested in this, I guess I'll link to it a little bit later. But I think I've had a lot of cool conversations with cartoonists since I've made this zine, because I have it at shows and people come up and I always tell them like, oh, it's about movies, and then I had like a bunch of recommendations in the inside back cover, and then they usually flip back here and something will catch their eye and they'll go like, cool, Trash Humpers, hell yeah. And then, then we'll talk about Harmony Korine, and suddenly a conversation is happening. So this has been really rewarding for me to have made, not just to get the copies out there like it is for any other book, but it's been a real conversation starter, and it helps you kind of find your people, your movie people. And I find that, if someone is cool and interesting, you can find a movie that you're both mutually interested in, and then in talking about the movie, suddenly you're talking about something else, and suddenly you're talking about something else, and now that's what a real conversation is. And I think so much of what passes for discourse on film and art in any medium is kind of like, oh, I liked it. Have you seen this? Oh, I liked it. Have you seen this? And then all you're doing is kind of bouncing around saying stuff, but there's no content there. I don't want to just hear like a list of things you've seen lately. Like I want to get into talking about the movie and what you were thinking about and how that made you feel and all that kind of stuff. And this has been a really great entry point for that kind of thing. So anyway, I bring this up mainly to talk about this book, Video Tonfa, which is definitely one of my favorite things that I own in print, no doubt. I've spent a lot of time looking at this book. I've only had it for a couple of years. I was sort of a latecomer to this book, and to Tim Goodyear in general. I actually don't know too much about him. I know he runs Teenage Dinosaur, or he did run Teenage Dinosaur. I'm not sure if that's still in print, but famously they put out Boys Club #1 originally before Buenaventura did. And Goodyear's just sort of like a kind of legend in the scene. I mean, he had a great interview with Austin English in the Comics Symposium, which is 100% worth your time. Just an interesting, funny, cool conversation. And his roots run deep in this world, and he's a big movie fan. So there's this book here called Video Tonfa. I'll read you the summary rather than summarizing it again. Yeah, on the back it says, Diary of the Illage Vidiot. There you go. In 2009, Tim Goodyear turned his sketchbook into a journal of the movies he watched, focusing on VHS and DVD for an eclectic and personal film history. For each video, he redrew the original box art and substituted the text with his own reflections. Video Tonfa is more than a book of movie reviews. It's a chronic memoir of over 300 video visitations. I love that phrase, video visitations. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's printed on this amazing, like, sort of hideous yellow paper, which actually on camera here looks insane. So sorry if this is like burning your eyeballs out, but it's exactly what it sounds like. So imagine, you know, taking the sleeve out of VHS, redrawing the cover art, and then the, you know, the snapshots on the back, but instead of the synopsis of the film, it's kind of Tim's perceptions of it or his reactions to it. And it's really hard to describe how wonderful these are because they're so concise, and I'll read a few of them, I guess, in a minute. They're so concise and they're so perfect, but it really feels like the conversations I was having, that it feels like the things I was having with other people that started a conversation about something else. Like, it feels like a quick little synopsis, a quick little discussion that then one of us says like, oh, cool, that reminds me of this thing, or that made me feel like this, or like, what did you think of this? And like, so the Tonfa book to me is that they're not these pithy little letterbox things that people post to like try to sound cool or smart, or I don't know. There's something so annoying about letterbox to me where everyone's just so try hard about, I don't know, it just seems like it's full of posers trying to like seem cool about movies. But something like this to me not only is, I think, more insightful and more interesting, and maybe this, you know, a good comparison might be like, this is one person's letterbox, but the thing about this book is it showcases, I think, one of the beautiful discrepancies between print and online, where I actually look to this book for recommendations. Like, when I'm in a certain kind of mood or I'm looking for something to watch, rather than turning on the stupid box and like scrolling through computer recommendations, like, I will literally just pick this up, flip to a page, I'll read 2 or 3 pages, and then go find that movie online. And it takes 3 minutes instead of scrolling through a million. You know, it's so easy to blow through a half hour looking at options on, even on the good ones like Criterion or Night Flight or Arrow or Mubi or any of those. Like, you can still blow through half hour, 45 minutes, an hour just looking at possibilities. And by then, like, you know, I've finished my popcorn, I'm done. Sometimes I just turn it off and do something else, and that's just feels to me like a waste of time. And so this is just like quick and dirty, and because of the tone of voice and because of the, I guess, the kind of the type of movies that are in here, I immediately recognize this as like, this is a valuable resource for someone like me. And it's every type of movie. I mean, there's movies for kids in here, there's classics, you know, there's Kubrick, there's Rodney Dangerfield, there's Albert Pune, there's John Singleton, there's like, you know, big Hollywood bullshit, there's great old school, you know, trashy 80s trauma stuff, there's Stallone, and it's every type of thing. And the thing I love so much about this is it's not snobby, and it's not pretentious, and it's not posturing, and it's not trying to angle itself as some sort of authority on anything. It's really just very it feels like a person having an authentic experience with something. And at first I was like, I just want the writing. Why did he bother drawing all the cover art when I first picked this up? But as you read through these, the cover art is essential, and I adore the way Tim draws. It has the thing that I'm always looking for, that Nick and I talk about all the time, which is that like joy for drawing, that like I don't know, we're always going back and forth about what to call this without making it sound pejorative. Like, it's not childlike, it's not kidlike, but it's capturing the energy of somebody who wants to draw just for drawing's sake. And it has such a variety of line work. And there's something about the spontaneity and the rawness of these pen drawings that just really feels like a person looking at something really carefully. I don't know, but also not trying to recreate it. And I just think the drawings are beautiful. So I guess I'll read a few of these. I don't want to spend too much time harking on this, but this book is still in print. You can get it from Floating World. I'll drop the link in the description. And you know, if you're a fan of movies at all, to me, I think like, doesn't matter if you like B movies, doesn't matter if you like Criterion movies, doesn't matter if you like Netflix movies, if you like Marvel movies, whatever. Like, this is invaluable resource for finding things to watch in a quick and graspable way. All right, let's read a couple. Backtrack, starring Dennis Hopper and Jodie Foster. What a cool movie. The setup is common. Beautiful artist witnesses a mob hit, goes on the run. Master hitman goes to kill her but falls in love with her instead. For from this comes a great movie. Unique characters and little interest in handing you endless excuses for its movements. Oh, I love that bit. Unique characters and little interest in handing you endless excuses for its movements. So instead of showing you something and then making its own argument for why that happened, it feels more natural. That's like just a beautiful little phrase of, it articulates a thing that I feel like I can feel but have never put into words. It has little interest in handing you endless excuses for its movements. Perfect. The cast is, as you can see, perfect. Hopper does a great job in front of and behind this movie, and I'm going back through his directorial catalog. Pretty inspirational artist for me. Outside of the concept, this is very much an Alex Cox movie too. Recommended. There you go. That's it. I'm done. Sold. I'm watching Backtrack. I've never seen Backtrack, but I'm on board. So I folded down a few of these pages. These are ones that I just thought were funny to read. But I'll stick bookmarks and stuff in here all the time whenever I pick this up. Batman Returns. Maybe you've heard of it. Starring Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. I'd almost forgotten the whole thing. It was like watching it new. I dig it. It's all villains. Batman's a framing device. It's a little long, but I wish they had made a few more like it. Batman's doing straight up murders here. He stuffs light dynamite down dude's pants and drops him headfirst down a manhole. Triple villains. Pee-wee cameo. Wish they'd made a spin-off show for DeVito's Penguin digging through the filth. Sold. I'm on board. Done. What's another one here? Castle Freak. Oh, I love this drawing. So sick. I'm such a sucker for like a sharp, clean pencil line with like a bunch of shit around it, like a smudgy lines and some shading and stuff. Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak. The first time I saw this, I thought it was all right. I was a bit underwhelmed by the ending. Second time I had my expectations in order, and I was really into it. Enjoyed the pace and tone a lot. Combs is so captivating at all times. I dig it when movies do cock shots, because the reaction it gets is very telling of people's social and mental limitations. And so, Castle Freak has a nice close-up of a mutilated dong, which is maybe less, but possibly more provocative. Now I love it. What else do you need to know? I mean, that's the deal. This is the book. If you like movies and you're interested in getting off the fucking internet and having cool conversations with people, this is the thing. I feel like this is like having a cool friend recommend you movies. Like, he just seems like the chillest dude. I met Tim once at Short Run for like 2 seconds. Seems like the nicest, coolest dude. The vibe is the same as it is in the book. It's very off the cuff. I like when he makes references to his friends. He'll just say in these like, oh, and Kyle lent me this movie and I had to watch it. So the more you get into it, the more you like, I don't know, it doesn't become like a personal autobiography or anything, but you're just in a person's brain kind of exploring these things with them, and you get to know things about them and how they watch things and how they like to see and what the kind of things are that they're looking for. It's fascinating to me. You get to learn. There's like little bits of movie trivia in here I didn't know, like how Buckaroo Banzai was originally the sequel to Buckaroo Banzai became the script for Big Trouble in Little China. Like, I didn't know that. You get to learn that he's a big Brad Dourif fan, which, if you're not a big Brad Dourif fan, I don't know what you're doing. And yeah, so anyway, spooky Halloween season. Look at that. Perfect timing. I learned that Tim Goodyear's not a huge fan of the first Rob Zombie Halloween, but the second one starts to cook a little bit. It's great. This kind of like obsessive cataloging and curation of personal habits and time spent on these things is totally my shit. So I'll link to these both in the comments. Shouts out to Tim Goodyear if you're watching. This is the shit. And I hope you all have a safe and happy spooky season. Until next time, toodles.